This is the 2024 Honda CR-V Hybrid, the Sport Edition. It's been a little over a year. I have a little over 5,000 miles. Today I'll be showing you how to do the oil change and tire rotation. Depending who you ask, they might prefer to do this sooner or later. The car is a bit conservative. I think I got the initial reminder 6 months in, but I decided to wait a little bit longer. Some people go as low as 1,000 miles. Some people wait all the way up to 7,500. To lift the car, you're either going to use a floor jack and jack stands. In my case, I'm just going to use the Max Jacks lift. For those using a floor jack, the front point is that center circle area right there. It's pretty far in, so this is where the long reach floor jacks really help. For the rear, I just use the tow hook. It's a lot closer to the end of the car. I have done the same job on a 2020 Honda Accord Hybrid a few years ago, so if you want more details, refer to that video. Since I'm using the lift, I could just remove the tires while up in the air. Otherwise, you want to loosen these lug nuts while the tires are still on the ground. I'm just using the pinch welds that are used for the jack stands. Give it a good shake to make sure it's balanced correctly. Before lifting the full height, I'm going to do the tire rotation. It's easier on your back. These are non-directional tires. Here is the rotation pattern for this car. According to the service manual, the front tires are moved straight to the back. The rear tires are crossed to the front. If the wheel doesn't want to come off, leave a lug nut to hold it in place. Take a rubber mallet and just bang on it from behind like that. Once again, these two front tires get moved straight to the back. The rear tires get swapped to the opposite side on the front. On the rear left, this one gets moved to the front right, and vice versa for the other tire. Forgot to mention this earlier, but I am using a 19mm socket. Center the wheel as best as you can. This Ryobi has an automatic mode. I'll just tighten it, but won't actually torque it down. We'll get the wheel lock and do the final torque once the wheel's back on the ground at the very end. Alright, continue lifting the car to full locking height. Set the car in the lock and then you're safe to work underneath. Loosen the oil cap, that helps with drainage later. For some odd reason, some Hondas will have this splash shield. The Accord did not. There's 8 of these fasteners. The flathead ones are quarter turn. These are PH3, Phillips head number 3. It's not JIS number 2. You might need to use an impact on that. But yeah, start early. These things might strip out on you. Okay, the slotted ones are pretty easy, it looks like. See what one winter does to these things already. So yeah. The last one. Okay, so those are pretty easy. Oh, I spoke too soon, as always. Unfortunately, this is so flimsy, you can't even really use an impact driver. It'll just bend. So make sure you get the right size bit and maybe a electric or battery impact driver. All right, I was able to loosen this one. Oh, this one's okay too. But yeah, I can see how it's a very tight fit. Here's that center jacking point right here. This one has a little bit of corrosion already. This one you might be able to use a hammer actually. Yeah. Unfortunately, these two are really in there. I don't want to keep hammering at this all day. I'm just going to use my battery Ryobi. There you go. Piece of shit. At least the oil filter is really easy to get to, and the engine oil, they actually even tell you where it's at. Let's get the right size socket and drain this out. I'm just going to use a 17 and a breaker bar. And look how easy that was. Get a pan underneath and let it drain. For the oil filter, I've always had success using this type of clamp pliers. Cake. That is cake. For oil, I'm just using Mobil 1 0W-20. This one says hybrid. I don't know what the difference is. Someone can explain down in the comments below. This car uses 4.2 quarts with the filter. They do sell 4-quart versions of this, I believe. I got this at Walmart. They only had the 5-quart. If you watch this channel for a while, you know that I usually buy 3 filters at a time. That's why I still have a Subaru from my old Forester. This is from the old Accord. Fortunately, a lot of recent Honda cars use the same filter. I looked up online, it's the same number, so fitment should be good. Some dealers will include a new crush washer. If you don't get this, you can reuse this maybe once, twice at most. Since I have it, I'm going to replace it. I believe this is an aluminum oil pan, if I'm not mistaken. The problem is this cross threads really easily, so I prefer to just do these hand tight with a ratchet. Official torque spec is 30 foot-pounds or pound-feet, but unless you have a very accurate torque wrench, I find it a little bit too risky and unnecessary. So just hand tight is good enough for me. Screwed this up in the last video, but if you don't have a funnel and want this to pour out gracefully, just make 2 holes, one in the front, one in the back. Take some fresh oil and lube up the gasket so you don't install it dry. Some people pre-fill the oil filter with a little bit of oil. It's up to you. The oil filter I also tighten by hand. It'll help if it's not oily so you get better grip. But just tighten it as much as you can. The heat cycling will make it very tight eventually. Next I'm going to pour in 4 quarts of oil, start the car, and check the level. Replace the cap, wipe any spills, especially around any rubber hoses around the area. Start the car. It says I can't open the door. I'm just going to use the remote start. Gotta wait for the engine to kick on. It is a hybrid. After you stop the engine or turn off the car, let's check the oil. It's really hard to see a fresh oil. You need to wipe this really clean. Stick it back in here. Pull back out. It looks like it's in between the 2 dots. The distance between the lower dot and the top one is about 1 quart of oil. What I'm looking for here is to make sure I didn't overfill it. That way, you could go down and drain some excess. In this case, I'm good to put the under tray back on. To make life less of a pain next time, for these under tray bolts, I'm going to put some anti-seize. Hopefully that will help with some of the corrosion. I lowered the car until the tires just touched the ground so I could torque it without the wheels spinning. Starting with the wheel lock. Star pattern. Sucks to record and do this with one hand at the same time. Once it's torqued, you can lower the car all the way down and fully load the suspension. If you made a big mess like I did, some clumping cat litter will take care of that. It'll absorb it up and make sure you scoop it and throw it away as well. Back inside the car, it's time to reset the mileage for the maintenance. Let's go to vehicle settings. Maintenance info, oil and filter, or select reset. Let's do oil and filter, reset that. Then I have to go all the way back there and hit tire rotation again. Okay, and it's done. As shown in this video, this was a 1, at most 2 out of 5 in difficulty. I've done this many times, so I'm a bit biased there. Your mileage may vary, especially if you cannot get that under tray off. That could be a nightmare. The dealer charges $130, which is not too bad. Again, if you can't get that tray off, it's well worth the saved hassle there. Otherwise, I spent $30 for the oil and filter. On a previous video on that Accord, someone had made a comment, why would anyone do this themselves, especially considering how cheap it is to just pay someone else to do it? Well, for me, I don't have to wait around at the dealer. Depending how your dealership is, you could be in the waiting room for quite some time. If you have kids, you could do other things at home while the oil drains. The bigger thing with many car guys, they just don't like other people touching their shit. Most mechanics do a good job, but you cannot guarantee that. That's with any profession out there. If you could do a good job yourself and have some attention to detail, then by all means do it yourself and save some money. These oil changes happen quite frequently, so this is one of those things where you could be very self-sufficient once you've done it a few times. If I helped you out today, please consider giving this video a like, subscribe for more home DIY videos, and I will see you all next time. And yes, I'm aware that the lens is dirty. Be careful what you use to wipe these. That plastic is quite easy to scratch, fog, and once that happens, it's a nightmare to get rid of. So use the proper cloth and don't rush it.